In this training, we are going to be looking at the expense exception feature. This is going to replace the current process where vendors need to ask to exceed a cap and must get approval first. So for example, if the hotel cap is $100, but the vendor can only find a hotel for $150, this is where they would ask for permission to exceed that cap. So now there is a more efficient workflow that doesn't require going back and forth with emails and comments. First thing we'll see is at the top, there is now an exceptions navigation. We also added exceptions to the left side here, so as you can see, there are different places to create the expense exception. We'll click on the Create button and go ahead and create an expense exception. The first thing we need is the date range. In this example, we'll use April 1st to April 30th. Choose the facility, and please note that you can only choose one facility per exception. Next, we will choose one type of request. Please note that if you choose airfare, you must also include the airports. If you have any additional details to add, you may add them here in this box. Next we have, is travel booked? If yes, then we have to mark what day we booked it. If no, then there are no further questions. Next, we'll fill out the cost of the expense. So in this example, we'll say the flight costs $800 and the cap that you're exceeding is $100. For facility coverage reason, this is asking why the facility should pay for this. Below, we also have a free text field to add anything else. So for example, perhaps there's Comic-Con in town that's driving up the cost of airfare. So you can list those details and reasons here. Below that, we have the documents section where you have the option to attach or upload applicable supporting documents. You can also find the contacts here at the bottom in case you need to reach out for any support. Click Save and your expense exception has now been submitted. Here you can see your exceptions view, and in the pink box, you can review the airfare, the cost, the cap, and the differential. We have all of our standard filters on the left side here, so as the expense exceptions start to build up, you can use these filters to sort and list. Now let's see what this looks like from the HCO perspective. So notice that we have added expense exceptions right here in the activity stream. So we can go ahead and click on expense exception, and now we can see all the details, and the HCO can either approve or reject the request. They can also click at the top and download a PDF. And now the HCO can go to the bottom and click approved, and this expense exception has been approved. So now we'll switch back to the vendor side and look at the next step in the process, which would be to create an invoice. So we'll click on Create an Invoice. And in this example, we'll use April 1st through April 30th as our dates. We have now added an area called Associated Exceptions, and you'll see we have our expenses down here. To include this invoice, we just need to check this checkbox, build our expense, and now we have an invoice for an airfare exception of $800. Now from the HCO perspective, if they go in and download a copy of this invoice, we'll first see the cost here, and then the details regarding the expense exception are already attached to the PDF, so they don't have to go back and include this. We hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions, please contact our live chat team or email support@locumsmart.net. Thank you. Have a great day.